Hello, everyone, my fans. This is Sam Wong. Today is Wednesday, November 26th. So Thanksgiving is gonna about to happen. At first, I wish everybody of you and your family gonna have a great and wonderful holiday. I know there's a lot uncertainty driving the market came down last week. There was a Fed uncertainty of interest rate. Job were not added a lot in September job reporting, and sales data wasn't really strong. So you may be indicating that the opportunity that Fed maybe reduce rate. So this has been driving the market turning around, but I mean volatility is kind of expected, as you know, because the market is really doing some corrections, but that is really healthy. For example, if you look at Bitcoin, you can see that Bitcoin really had dropped a lot from 120,000 high end, now dropping down to 86,000, which is not surprising. And also wanted to touch base about how everything looking right now. So if you look at let's look at the index. The index actually come back pretty good shape. If you look at the in the last couple of days, although you have some volatility again, and and again last Thursday, U.S. stock market had tumbled pretty much very high because of the worry about the economy and also the control of the inflation. The situation can get worse. You can look at the last couple of days because of the last week because of the profit taking. Since most of the top index are hovering all-time highs, with some analysts wondering that stock market was highly overvalued. So as you know, there's uncertainty about overvaluation and talking about AI, the too much projects, whether it's materializing or not. These are really driving the market more, you know, um, profit taking or really sell off. September producer index rose 0.3% is in line with expectations. But again, from now till end of the year, I'm still thinking the market look bullish. There's one analyst who predicted correctly during COVID. He was actually saying that the economy will be the stock market will continue to be bullish because of the Fed interest rate going to cut, and also the corporate earnings really, if you look at it, is a lot of AI company, Nvidia really reported very strong earning. That's just really the driver of, even though the P ratio will be a little higher, but the momentum continues to grow, right? Of course, the layoff going on, with inflation, those are the things really not good for consumers and individuals. But investment, from an investment perspective, you have lower interest rate, you kind of offset that. So I want to go for a few stock. Hopefully you already bought it in during the pullback last week. And Meta, for example, if you look at all-time highs, it's $796, which happened really recently. Actually, recently $750, and if you look at it now, they drop it to $600. I bought it at $600. So if you look at the 150 divided by 600, that's 20% discount, right? Really, really attractive, right? So right now, after $60, you rebounded 5%. The index had dropped 5% last week, and you rebounded quite a bit already yesterday. So just to give you the idea that normally stock would rebound even more. So if the index up 5%, you'll predict your stock probably rebound higher than that, especially for small gaps. The next one is Microsoft. Like I said, I really like that Copilot. I think this tool is going to replacing some labors, and the really cool thing is if you have 200 pages of contract, really Copilot can be like a human being, read through it for you and then summarize it for you. You have to ask the right questions, but you can slice and dice and create PowerPoint for you. So really, really saving heck a lot of time. Although I would say that there's still room for improvement because sometimes I think they're missing some points, but they're 90% accurate right now. So the stock, if you look at it, all-time high $555, which is very recent, and then you cut back down to below $500, and in fact $475 low end I bought some, and $500 I bought some on this stock. So I know for the long run this stock will continue to be bullish, and because Microsoft is just a, as you know, the product, cloud business, everything else, and really, really, really solid. Of course, if the stock bomb back, we pull back, and from the other hand, right? I'll look at the stock and go back to $300. I mean, Meta little, and they can go back to $300, half, right? Actually, we'll be a little higher than that because 750 was high end. And then Nvidia is another one that if you pull back down, you can go back to $85. That's how I look at it. Well, and just really look at it in April. You have to compare to the kind of high end right now to April timeline where the tariffs were imposed. The market was terrorized. It was given really big corrections, like 10% correction in the index one day. That was down to 2,000 points. Those are telling you that you got to compare the history and ask yourself where you are at. So from a risk, on the reward risk standpoint right now, I mean, you still have some room between now to next year, right? Again, one analyst really still being bullish. He believed that the index will go to 7,200 um, as for S&P, and then you really will go higher. Higher next year will be 10% growth, and then another 18% growth, which is going to be like 7,800. But he may look in the long run, right? Not just tomorrow that you sleep and when wake is going to happen. So Nvidia also is pulled back from high end 212 down to about $180, pretty solid, sitting around that range. So I bought a little bit on that, but this one I will see if you hit $200, I may walk. The next one also, this one I bought quite a bit, but it's kind of disappointing. So at high end with $200, I bought it at 180 and you keep dropping and about a little bit of 160. So now my weighted average is really $170. I'm still losing money on this one, but this is also another, one of the big seven that actually grew a lot in recently if you look at the trend, right? So this one I'll just buy a little bit to kind of position myself if we buy. And then the next one, Roblox have really pulled back a big time. So if you look at it, it was like $150 just recently high up to here, 140-ish, not quite 150, but you drop below $100. So if you do the math, like 50 divided by 150, it's almost 30%. So if you compare the other big seven, which have dropped quite a bit, like 20%, right, Meta about 20-ish, and then Microsoft maybe a little lower, like 10 plus. This is giving you a lot, right? 25% to 30% range. So I bought some at $100. I bought some at $90. So we'll see if this one rebound. Again, this stock's still not making money, but talking about the future, forward looking, you would say I look at it a little bit more speculative, but I'm happy to hold this one. And during COVID, it will actually $170 in this stock all-time highs, and again, there's a lot of subscribers, expanding every day. They try to be more innovative and creative, and actually, Christmas students are off, so there may be more people paying time. So when they announce earning, they may say, more users during the fourth quarter of the time because holiday, obviously. Next one, this one also pulled back a lot from, if you look at not the all-time high, but $2-ish, which just happened a month ago or so before the earnings seasons end. You really tipped back below $2 to $1.84. At one point, it was gone down to $1.60. So I bought some at $1.60 now as well. We bought $1.80, the 10%, right, close to. But obviously, I hold a lot in this one HILN. I sold a lot in that buyback, so I'm still right now at a loss positions right now on this, maybe 15%. But if you hit $2 and above, then we're gonna make money again on this one, and I'll probably consider walk for short-term capital gain. And then next one is Pinduoduo. I haven't talked about this one. I sold it a long time ago around this level. So I think right now the market, the stock have been very bullish to $140 all the way dropped to $114. I think right now this is going to be at a watch list level that you can consider buying. Again, if there any focus of issues with China and U.S. Relationship tension again, tariffs and so on, I mean, the stock can tip down a little more, right? But if not, and stabilizing it, there's a trend running around between from a rebound technical perspective, you can be $110 to $25 range. I would say, you go back down like this. If you draw the diagram, you can see it. You go up and down, up and down, up and down. When I go down, just gonna rebound a little bit, okay? And then next one, I also like to talk about Alibaba. A lot of time, for some odd reasons, these AI company, even reporting such a bullish earning, the stock actually tipped down. Because what happened is, the investor and institutional investor actually forecasted before the earning, right? So it's really going for the news before announced and push the market up. Now after the earnings announced, even though very strong, I mean, most time people profit taking and they will say, "Oh, it wasn't really as good as what they anticipated," but really, really solid earnings. So the stock you can see at an all-time high 190, right? And in here is a very high end in October, right? It's slipping down and in a downward trend right now, right? In Alibaba, I would say it is good to be in the watch list on this stock. And if it dropped down a little bit more, I sold it at $125 from when I bought it $90, which I really make a lot of money from that percentage perspective. So I probably will not. I will not buy back till $140 below, which I'm willing to pay higher than what I was sold at, but I'm not going to pay a lot higher premium. And this stock again, it will be good for long-term holding, but again, the relationship, the geopolitical risk is what these stock Alibaba, Pinduoduo, CPAN, XPEV, those are the one need to add it to the risk reward matrix. So you will make this stock you are paying a premium when you into the market. So you expect that the return have to be better than the US stock. The next one is Simping. I really like this one. And again, the stock I'm talking about robot taxi, which is like Tesla, right? And it was a really great news and pushed the market in the high end, which is like $28 for a short term. You can see the graph right here. But after that, with recent pullback and obviously, with economics worry, it's really coming, the stock kind of get dumped and going downward, right? So I actually bought it again. I bought it various level, but the recent level was 19. I sold at 22. Well, from that point, then from 22, they push up to 28, which I missed some opportunity, but I'm not worried about it now. It's coming back down again. So I bought some at $21. So I'm gonna look forward to this stock. Maybe if I was sell in a short-term capital gain, if it hit $23, I would consider selling them. But again, if I want to hold it, this stock will be also good for long term, just like HILN that I'm holding. The last stock is Apple. You can see that this one is kind of interesting. I was expecting Apple will pull back as well, just like the market, and then therefore I will have opportunity to go back into buying this. But you can see that it's actually pushing up quite a bit, an all-time high, almost $280. So with the holiday season, if you listen to me the video which you would have bought a month ago, about 240-ish, 260, you still pretty quickly gone up. And again, my target price is and change $300 for this stock, and I'm looking forward to having them announcing they actually sell really well in the Christmas again. That's all I have for today. And again, I'm looking forward to the market to continue to be having the momentum, push it up to Christmas, which is Santa Claus event. And until then, I'll talk to you again. Have a wonderful, wonderful holiday. Stay warm.